Well, we've heard the reaction from cable news pundits and news anchors and The View. We haven't heard from the most esteemed political analysts in the country yet, and that would be the late night TV hosts. So here is, we'll start with Stephen Colbert giving his take on the election results.
I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Well, it happened again. After a bizarre and vicious campaign fueled by a desperate need not to go to jail, Donald Trump has won the 2024 election. It's almost like you rehearsed that. The deep shock and sense of loss is enormous. Okay, but let's look at the bright side. This way, at least, there'll be a peaceful transfer of power. Mike Pence, Ali Oxenfree. All day yesterday, I was walking around proudly wearing my I voted sticker. Today, I wore my I am questioning my fundamental belief in the goodness of humanity sticker. Yeah, they give those out. They give those out at the bake sale. Right outside. Now, as a late night host, people often say to me, come on, part of you's got to want Trump to win because he gives you so much material to work with. No. No one tells the guy who cleans the bathroom, wow, you must love it when someone has explosive diarrhea. There's so much material for you to work with. Come on. Now, you understand that? That good? I wish, you wish, so many of us wish this hadn't happened, but that is not for us to decide. This is a democracy. That's democracy with a capital duh. And in this democracy, the majority has spoken, and they said they don't care that much about democracy. And I want to take a moment to congratulate Kamala Harris and Tim Walsh on running an amazing 107-day campaign.
Yes, what an amazing campaign. First of all, what a hilarious comedic monologue. What a great stand-up set from that guy. Just hilarious. Great jokes. Amazing campaign. Absolutely amazing campaign. An amazing campaign that resulted in a devastating blowout loss. An amazing campaign where Kamala lost ground and lost votes in literally every county in the country. But that's an amazing campaign. It's like if somebody builds a bridge and the bridge is, let's say an engineer designs a bridge and then the bridge is built and they had the ribbon cutting ceremony and 90 cars are lined up to cross the bridge, and 3.5 minutes later, the bridge collapses and sends the 90 cars tumbling into the river. And then Stephen Colbert shows up and says, wow, the engineer did an amazing job. Amazing job. Really amazing. Look at this the amazing collapsible bridge. And I guess it is amazing in a certain way. I don't know, I've never seen a bridge collapse, but I guess like it is an amazing sight in a certain way. And Kamala's campaign, in a certain way, is amazing. I mean, it achieved an amazing defeat. There are zero bright spots in this case. You can't even look at this campaign, look at the election results if you're Kamala. There's not one single, even smaller thing you can look to and say, well, at least we had that, or at least we made some progress there, or, hey, we didn't win, but we did this and that and that. You can't even do that. Just losses across the board everywhere with everything. Amazing campaign. No one wants to think about debt, but here's the cold hard truth. Many of us will get deeper in debt during the holidays. Last year, half of American consumers took on debt just to pay for Christmas presents and holiday expenses. This year, could be you. Could be me. And let me tell you something, it's never too early to start planning your way out of it. That's where my friends at pdsdebt.com come in with a personalized solution just for you. Look, I've seen what debt can do to families. If you're making payments every month and your balances aren't going down, you're stuck in exactly the kind of trap that PDS Debt specializes in breaking you out of. Here's what makes them different. Everyone with $10,000 or more in eligible debt qualifies. No minimum credit score is required. They even accept bad and fair credit. And they'll help you save more while paying off your debt in a fraction of the time. Whether you're struggling with credit cards, personal loans, collections, or medical bills, PDS Debt will look at your specific situation and find alternative solutions to get you debt-free. They don't just treat you like a number. They actually take the time to understand your scenario. Start planning today. Get a free debt analysis right now. pdsdebt.com/Walsh. Only takes 30 seconds. It's pdsdebt.com/Walsh. pdsdebt.com/Walsh. So that was Colbert. And if you thought that was insufferable, just wait until you hear from Jimmy Kimmel.
Let's be honest, it was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go, for healthcare, for our climate, for science, for journalism, for justice, for free speech. It was a terrible night for poor people, for the middle class, for seniors who rely on Social Security, for our allies in Ukraine, for NATO, for the truth and democracy and decency. And it was a terrible night for everyone who voted against him. And guess what? It was a bad night for everyone who voted for him, too. You just don't realize it yet. And most of all...
So Jimmy gets emotional there, starts crying a little bit, which just, it's so disgraceful. If you were capable of shame at all, to be crying on camera because you're sad that your candidate didn't win the election, you are a grown-ass man crying over that. You know, I know we've grown accustomed to these late night alleged comedians being total partisan hacks. We've grown accustomed to it, but it really is just egregious. And it wasn't like this until recently, until Trump. Before that, the late night shows at least made an effort to appeal to everybody. Jay Leno was a mainstream comedian, and he did a show that was designed to appeal to a wide cross-section of the country. But now these late night shows have decided that they don't want half the country, more than half, as we've seen, more than half. They don't want more than half the country. They don't want more than half of the country to watch. Kamala was just blown out, landslide loss. She lost the popular vote. The country overwhelmingly chose Trump, and the late night shows are directly insulting and alienating the overwhelming majority, saying, we don't want you. So they've decided that they want to be irrelevant. And they are. And it's a kind of a remarkable decision. And one other thing too, and this is also something that is also new, though we're used to it by now, we kind of take it for granted, but having comedians, quote unquote, who give emotional monologues where there are no jokes being told, it was never like that before. You would never ever see that until recently. It would never happen, and it shouldn't happen. Your job is to be funny, Jimmy. That's your job. I know you've never been funny, but it's your job to be. Your job is to tell jokes. That's the only reason your job exists. It's the only thing anyone wants to hear from you. This is like, it's like, you know, imagine you go to the symphony to watch a performance, but instead the musicians come out and decide to, you know, do a magic show or something. You might even like magic shows, but that's not, you didn't go to the symphony for that. That's not why you're there. You're not there for that. You didn't just go to watch these people do whatever they feel like doing in the moment. You went for the music. So if you're in the symphony, play the damn music. And if you're a comedian, allegedly, be funny. Your job is to be funny. Oh, but I'm sad. I'm sad, and I'm angry about the election results. Yeah, well, that's the job. Being funny, even when you're sad or angry and don't feel like being funny. That's the whole job. That's the challenging thing you're supposed to be really good at, which is why you're paid millions of dollars. But they've given up on it, and they're fine with being irrelevant. And as I said, they are. Hey, YouTube, thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like access to my full show with no ads, you should go to dailywire.com and use promo code Walsh to get 2 months free on all annual plans. See you there.